We're all expendable. We think the world's going to stop when a pope dies, or a king. And then, life goes on. My ma died when I was 20. You tune into the radio or the telly and life goes on. Things keep on happening. The world doesn't stop. At college, I went to Yale, and everybody's very smart, and everybody has their thing that makes them special, and people at Yale would pretend they didn't recognize me. Only after they'd had a couple of drinks would they start singing the Life Goes On theme song. I would say people remember me from Life Goes On more than anything. We want to do something important in the World Cup, and hopefully I have the chance. If not, well, life goes on, I'll keep working the same way and supporting my teammates. I love men's company, but I don't feel I have to be married. Men are a wonderful part of life, like chocolate, but my life goes on whether they're there or not. As with real families, my fictional family on Life Goes On had its ups and downs, and as part of the fictional downers, the actors were often called to cry on cue. This absolutely terrified me, because I was a pretty happy kid who didn't have much to cry about. The longer your life goes on, the more death you face. To me, it's not the end of the world if I end up not being with someone. I love romance. I love sex. I love men's company, but I don't feel I have to be married. Men are a wonderful part of life, like chocolate, but my life goes on whether they're there or not. Your life goes on, and then your life goes on plus Star Wars. It's just been an incredible time. You can never criticize a monumental musician like John Lord or Ritchie Blackmore, or the part they played in the group, but life goes on. Away from football, life is not just football. People do not see it how life goes on for us off the field. Yes, I have cancer and it might not go away, but I can still have a future because life goes on. Life goes on after a breakup. People moan about Twitter, people being rude and trolling. Just turn it off. Life goes on. I know life goes on if you make a big bet and you lose. But if you don't give yourself the best chance of winning, you're going to kick yourself tomorrow. Life goes on, and I'm moving on to the next thing, but I hope the soaps that are still running will thrive. They have millions of loyal viewers. Because after my first year I had a lot of success, took everybody by storm, came back the next year, thought it was easy and didn't have near the season I had the previous year. It was kind of a wake-up call. And so, life goes on. If you don't like me, life goes on, you know what I mean? But I hope you do like me, because I think that in addition to being pushy, I'm nice. Back in those days, a parent looked at the disability and didn't see the ability. Life Goes On showed that people with a disability can be included. Just give them a chance and let them learn. That's what the show was trying to teach. I accept I am going to miss playing because it's such an important part in my life. It's going to be difficult to fill that gap. Life goes on. It's never nice to lose someone close to you. Unfortunately, life goes on, and we have to make peace with it and move on. Having your father to help you to get back up is good, but you need to get up by yourself and walk alone. Life goes on. It's depression. You can't put it into words. You get stuck and time passes by. I'm stood there on the edge of a cliff, can't go back and can't go forward. Days go by. I'm still in the same place. Everyone else's life goes on, but you're stuck. You try and I don't know how, but you came out of it eventually. I did this role in Life Goes On as an HIV-positive character, and so emotionally that was the most challenging. I was in this sheltered little environment where, basically, all my high school experience was in Life Goes On, and everyone told me where to go, what to do, how to think. I never had to do anything for myself. I don't really get embarrassed a lot because I feel like life goes on. I mean, I fell on stage one time, I tripped one time. My voice cracked. That's pretty embarrassing. We were the first generation of rock roll, but life goes on. Life goes on if you're one of the lucky ones. In a perfect world, I would be a painter. I love working with my hands. I don't get to do it as much as I like, but I am finding a way to make more time as life goes on because it's a really great outlet for me to express myself. We see North Koreans as automatons, goose-steeping at parades, doing mass gymnastics with fixed smiles on their faces, but beneath all that, real life goes on with the same complexity of human emotion as anywhere else. Life goes on pretty much the same way. I've been working on a couple of films on the side. You may see some more. You may even see another television show. I would love to have a complete family. I'd love to do it all at once. I'd love to be able to give to my children what my parents were able to give to me. And if I'm blessed to be able to do that, fantastic. If I'm not, then life goes on. You have to do the best you can. I do think we have to bring the family back, I do. Life goes on, and we have to keep coming up with fresh ideas. To be slandered the way I get slandered is really uncalled for, but life goes on. My father was the youngest of 7, and nobody lived to be 60, and so we were always sitting Shiva in my house, and my father would say, life goes on. Some writers can only deal with childhood experience, because it's complete. For another kind of writer, life goes on, and he's able to keep processing that as well. Shows have asked a lot of actors to take cuts. Shows are going off the air, so okay, life goes on. Indeed, our British friends have decided to leave us, which is very sad for all of us, but life goes on, and the European Union as well goes on. You learn if you mind stay open, and once you can't learn no more, your mind must be closed. Life goes on and you keep growing, you know. So long as the system of competition in the production and exchange of the means of life goes on, the degradation of the arts will go on. And if that system is to last forever, then art is doomed, and will surely die, that is to say, civilization will die. Life goes on, and one should look ahead and not backward. Mistakes do happen and life goes on. Life goes on and life is full of setbacks. You have to fight, that's all. I wanted to acknowledge that life goes on but that death goes on, too. A person who is dead is a long, long story. As life goes on, we accrue more and more losable objects. Providence dictates that objects that are too large to lose, such as houses, always come with tiny little keys, specially designed to give you the slip. Here's my advice to my brown friends: the next time you're on an airplane in the US, just speak your mother tongue. That way, no one knows what you're saying. Life goes on. I'm not a movie star, but I've been an actress forever, and the first time I went on a date with my husband, he said to me, "So I hear you're an actress. I've never seen anything you've done." We were like, oh gosh, 21 when I met him, and I laughed, because I'd done Life Goes On, and Christie, and I mean, I'd been working forever. As life goes on, life just gets harder. I'm realizing for the first time, your life goes on while you're trying to pursue this career. I saw my career as everything, but you have this life, too. Living your life fully, you come to know yourself better. You'll find the place for it. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.